So just in time for Diwali, the government has rolled out a whole new set of GST reforms. They're calling it a gift to the nation. But beyond the headlines, what does all this actually mean for you? For your wallet? For your business? Well, let's unwrap this and see what's inside. The big promise here is pretty straightforward. Make GST better and simpler. Okay, sounds good, right? But that simple phrase is doing a lot of heavy lifting. We're about to break down exactly how these reforms could touch everything from your monthly budget to the health of the entire national economy. Alright, first up, let's talk about the place where you're going to feel these changes most directly, your own home. This is really where all the economic talk gets real, right at the kitchen table. Okay, let's start with the most immediate impact. Think about your daily essentials. We're talking shampoo, toothpaste, shaving cream. The tax on these items has been absolutely slashed from a pretty high 18% all the way down to just 5%. And this isn't just a random change. By targeting things that almost every single household buys, the relief is super visible and it puts money directly back into your pocket. And this relief goes way beyond the bathroom cabinet. It goes deep into your household budget. We're talking kitchen staples like butter and ghee, utensils, even things like baby bottles. Dozens of these everyday items are now in that lower 5% tax bracket. And when you add up all these little savings, the idea is that your overall monthly cost of living should start to come down. Now, what about the bigger purchases? Well, the reforms are targeting those too. Things like air conditioners and TVs are moving from that top 28% tax slab down to 18%. That's a huge 10% drop. It makes these kinds of aspirational goods more affordable, which is a key strategy to get people spending and to give the manufacturing sector a nice boost. Next, let's switch gears to an area that is, let's be honest, critically important for every single family: the cost of healthcare and, of course, your financial security. And this next one, wow, this is a big one. The GST on both health and life insurance premiums, it's being completely eliminated. We're talking zero. By taking this tax away, the whole point is to make that financial safety net more accessible and encourage more people across the country to get insured. The relief also covers essential medical supplies. By cutting the tax to 5% or even lower on everything from lab tests to glucometer strips, these reforms are trying to directly lower the out-of-pocket expenses we all face for both everyday preventative care and for managing long-term health issues. Now, let's turn our attention to the absolute backbone of the economy, the farmers. The government has really framed these reforms as a major gift to the agricultural sector, and it's all about tackling costs right at the source. The key idea here is making things simple and standard. Critical farming inputs from tractor parts to pesticides are now all taxed at a single low rate of 5%. For farmers, having that uniformity is a huge deal. It simplifies their bookkeeping, it means fewer headaches, and it makes planning for the future a lot more predictable. And the logic here is really straightforward, right? When the fundamental costs of farming actually go down, it creates a direct path for a farmer's net income to go up. It's as simple as that. Okay, so from the fields to the factories, let's look at small businesses and MSMEs. For them, the reforms aren't just about lowering costs, it's about making it easier to do business in the first place. If you run a small business, you know that time is money and cash flow is everything. Well, these reforms tackle both of those head on. Getting your GST registration done in just 3 days means you can get up and running faster. And a simpler, more transparent refund process means your money isn't just stuck in bureaucratic limbo. The whole idea is to let entrepreneurs focus on growing their business, not on paperwork. So when you boil it all down, the entire goal of these reforms is right here on the screen. It's about less spending for you, the consumer, more savings for families, and a much smoother, easier path for entrepreneurs to build something. As we've seen, the impact of these changes is really designed to be felt everywhere, from your kitchen table to the nation's farms. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. Will the true legacy of these reforms be the money saved in your own home or the massive growth it could spark across the entire economy? It's a great question. Thanks for joining me.